Hello nature lover. What if I told you the planet is fighting back and winning? While we've polluted oceans, burned forests, and pushed species to the brink, nature has quietly launched its own comeback. No billion-dollar tech, no human rescue missions, just pure raw earth healing itself. Forests are regrowing after wildfires. Animals are returning to abandoned cities. Rivers are rerouting. Even sunflowers are cleaning radiation zones. Scientists are stunned, and you will be too. These aren't sci-fi theories. They're real events happening right now, in places you'd never expect. Join us today as we uncover 10 shocking ways nature is rebuilding what we tried to destroy. You won't believe what elephants are doing to help save the entire animal kingdom. The elephants, nature's silent engineers. In the scorching heat of Africa, when rivers dry up and everything seems on the brink of collapse, a giant steps in, the elephant. These gentle giants of the wild are doing something unbelievable. They're creating water sources from nothing. These majestic animals aren't just surviving climate change. They're fighting it, using ancient instincts to dig deep into the earth and uncover hidden underground springs. In drought-stricken regions where even machines fail, elephants use their powerful trunks and massive tusks to carve out life-saving wells in dry riverbeds. What happens next is magical. These elephant-made waterholes don't just quench their thirst, they become lifelines for hundreds of other species. Zebras, antelopes, birds, even lions and leopards, all benefit from this miraculous act of restoration. In some areas, elephants are the only reason certain animals haven't vanished. Wildlife experts now track elephant paths to locate new water sources in drought zones. In Botswana, scientists were stunned when satellite images showed clusters of green blooming around spots elephants had dug just months earlier. These self-made oases spark an entire ecosystem to rebirth, allowing plants to return, prey to thrive, and nature's balance to reset, all without human help. It's a chain reaction powered by one of Earth's most intelligent animals. In places where elephants were removed, lands dried up and never recovered, proving their presence isn't just helpful, it's essential. Elephants aren't just survivors, they're ecosystem engineers, rewriting the rules of conservation. Their power to heal the land is so strong that conservationists are now reintroducing elephants to damaged habitats, hoping these giants can do what humans never could. Beavers, nature master builders. They were nearly hunted to extinction, but now they're making a comeback with a vengeance, and not in the way you'd expect. Beavers, yes, beavers, are becoming unexpected heroes in the fight against climate change. These buck-toothed engineers are quietly transforming barren lands into thriving wetlands, repairing ecosystems we thought were lost forever. In places once drained and destroyed by human hands, beavers are building dams that slow floods, trap carbon, and even bring back endangered species. Their dams don't just stop water, they restart life. Imagine a desert-like field suddenly teeming with frogs, fish, and birds, all thanks to these furry architects. In Washington state, scientists were stunned when beaver activity revived a dried-up stream that had been lifeless for decades, turning it into a lush oasis visible from satellites. Across North America, and even parts of Europe, abandoned farmland and fire-scorched forests are bouncing back. All because beavers are doing what they do best, building. Their dams purify water, recharge aquifers, and create natural fire breaks, things even multi-million-dollar tech couldn't achieve. In some places, they're now being airdropped into damaged lands to fast-track healing. That's right, parachuting beavers. It sounds insane, but it's working. Governments and environmentalists are racing to protect beaver populations, realizing that these animals might hold the key to restoring what we've destroyed. It's a comeback story no one saw coming. Nature's own furry environmental engineers, quietly outsmarting climate disasters. The sunflowers, nature radiation fighters. In a world scarred by nuclear disasters and toxic waste, you'd never guess the hero nature chose to fight back, the sunflowers. These bright, cheerful blooms are doing something scientists once thought impossible. They're cleaning up radioactive soil. After the catastrophic explosions at Chernobyl and Fukushima, entire regions were poisoned, turned into ghost zones where nothing should have survived. But when scientists planted sunflowers across these dead zones, something incredible happened. The flowers began absorbing radiation through their roots, locking dangerous isotopes like cesium-137 and strontium-90 into their stems and leaves. Known as phytoremediation, this natural detox method has shocked researchers around the world. In Chernobyl, entire fields of sunflowers now stand where radiation once ruled, pulling deadly toxins from the earth and bringing hope where there was only fear. These aren't just plants, they're nature's biohazard team, working silently to restore life to contaminated wastelands. Even NASA has studied sunflowers for future space missions, believing their radiation cleansing powers could help astronauts survive on Mars. And here's what's wild. Sunflowers can absorb heavy metals too, helping clean polluted lakes, landfills, and even urban wastewater. In Japan, local farmers planted them by the millions after the Fukushima disaster, transforming radioactive zones into glowing seas of yellow, slowly healing the land. While humans scramble for high-tech solutions, a simple flower is doing what billion-dollar machines couldn't, restoring balance, one petal at a time. And the results are so powerful that governments are now backing sunflower restoration programs in toxic zones worldwide. Oysters, nature water filters. They may look small, silent, and stuck to rocks, but oysters are performing one of the most unbelievable environmental miracles on Earth. They're cleaning polluted waters and bringing dead zones back to life. In bays and coastlines poisoned by industrial runoff, algae blooms, and sewage, oysters are working around the clock to filter the damage we've caused. Each oyster can clean up to 50 gallons of water per day, stripping it of nitrogen, heavy metals, and dangerous toxins that suffocate marine life. And when they grow in massive reefs, their impact multiplies. In places like Chesapeake Bay, New York Harbor, and the Gulf of Mexico, scientists have been stunned to see oyster restoration projects transforming murky, lifeless waters into crystal-clear habitats filled with fish, crabs, and seagrass. These reefs don't just filter, they also reduce coastal erosion, buffer storm surges, and create homes for over 300 species. Even more mind-blowing. Oysters do all of this with zero tech, zero chemicals, and zero noise. They're natural, self-replicating water purifiers that rebuild ecosystems while staying rooted in place. In New York, the Billion Oyster Project is planting millions of oysters with the goal of fully restoring the harbor, something once thought impossible. Even after oil spills and chemical leaks, oysters have been shown to bounce back and continue cleaning, acting as nature's frontline defenders. Their shells form reef barriers that break waves, reduce flooding, and even capture carbon. In polluted waterways where cleanup costs would soar into the billions, oysters are doing the job for free, quietly, efficiently, and effectively. Cities around the world are now racing to bring oysters back, recognizing that these humble shellfish could be the key to saving our coasts. Mangroves, nature coastal defenders. They look like tangled trees rising from the sea. But mangroves are doing something unbelievable. They're bouncing back after devastating storms and actually healing the planet in the process. In places hit hardest by hurricanes, typhoons, and rising sea levels, mangroves are not just surviving, they're leading nature's comeback. These coastal forests act like shock absorbers, taking the brunt of powerful waves and wind. And when storms wipe them out, they don't give up, they regrow stronger. In Florida, the Philippines, and Bangladesh, scientists were stunned to see mangroves rapidly reclaiming flooded coastlines, stabilizing soil, filtering saltwater, and bringing marine life back to dead zones. Their roots trap carbon at rates up to 4 times higher than tropical rainforests, making them silent warriors in the fight against climate change. Fish nurseries, crab colonies, and endangered birds all return the moment mangroves take root again, creating an explosion of biodiversity in areas once written off as lost. In satellite images, coastlines torn apart by storms began turning green again in just months. Thanks to these water-loving trees, Even after oil spills and tsunamis, mangroves have shown shocking resilience, bringing back without human help. Interconnected root systems that regenerate naturally, spreading across shorelines like living nets. Today, governments and scientists are racing to plant and protect mangroves as climate-proof barriers, and communities that once cleared them are now fighting to bring them back. Because when mangroves grow, they don't just protect land. They build it. They create new shorelines, restore marine ecosystems, and even shield cities from rising tides. Wolves, the predators that changed rivers. You won't believe this, but wolves have literally changed the course of rivers. Not with machines, not with engineers, just by being wolves. When they were reintroduced to Yellowstone National Park after nearly 70 years of absence, no one expected what would happen next. These apex predators didn't just balance the ecosystem, they reshaped the land itself. By hunting elk, wolves reduced overgrazing along riverbanks. With fewer elk eating young trees and shrubs, vegetation like willows and cottonwoods returned. And with the plants came stability. The roots anchored the soil, shaded the water, and brought back beavers, who then built dams that slowed the river flow. Eroded banks began to repair, river channels narrowed, water levels rose. Once barren valleys turned green again. Even fish populations surged, thanks to cooler, cleaner waters. Scientists never predicted this. They called it a trophic cascade, a powerful domino effect triggered by the return of just one species. The presence of wolves didn't just help other animals thrive, it physically transformed the geography of Yellowstone. Deer began avoiding exposed areas, allowing forests to regrow in places they hadn't for decades. Songbirds, bears, and foxes came back, all riding the ripple effect of balance being restored, all because the wolves returned. No human intervention, no billion-dollar projects, just nature correcting itself. And it proves something powerful. When we stop interfering and let nature do its thing, the results can be breathtaking. If you're amazed by how wolves changed rivers just by existing, smash that like button, share this story with a fellow nature lover, and subscribe for more unbelievable ways Earth is healing itself, one wild ripple at a time. Migratory birds, nature's skybound healers. They vanish for thousands of miles, flying across oceans and continents. But when migratory birds return, they're not just following instinct, they're quietly reviving the planet. These feathered travelers are nature's unexpected restoration crew, breathing life back into ecosystems we thought were beyond repair. From wetlands to grasslands, every time these birds touch down, they bring nutrients, stir the soil, spread seeds, and balance insect populations in ways no machine or conservation plan ever could. In Africa's Sahel region, swallows and warblers help regrow dry fields by fertilizing the earth with nutrient-rich droppings. In the Arctic tundra, migratory geese trample permafrost layers, just enough to let new plant life take root. In South America, millions of shorebirds feed on invasive insects and algae, restoring balance in fragile coastal ecosystems. Even their feathers carry microscopic spores that kickstart new plant growth. Scientists were shocked to discover how bird migration creates green corridors across continents, living highways of revival that reconnect broken habitats. These birds are adapting fast to climate shifts, finding new routes, and bringing restoration to places they never visited before. In the US, birdwatchers have recorded rare species appearing in damaged forests, and shortly after, those areas showed signs of regrowth. Nature is literally flying back to life. All from creatures that weigh less than a smartphone but travel farther than most humans ever will. While deforestation and pollution continue to threaten landscapes, these birds are proving that life still finds a way, one flap at a time. And the more we protect migratory paths, the more we unlock nature's built-in rescue system. Fireflies, tiny lights. Big environmental message. They light up summer nights like tiny stars. But fireflies are doing more than putting on a show. They're silently signaling the health of our planet. These glowing insects are one of nature's most reliable indicators of a clean environment, and their presence, or sudden disappearance, can reveal the hidden truth about our ecosystems. In areas once polluted by pesticides, chemical runoff, and industrial waste. Fireflies vanished without a trace. But now, in a growing number of regions, their magical glow is returning, and scientists are paying close attention. When fireflies reappear, it means something incredible is happening. The soil is healing, water sources are clearing, and light pollution is dropping. These insects are extremely sensitive to environmental changes, especially toxins and artificial lighting, so their comeback is a powerful sign that nature is bouncing back. In Japan, local villages use firefly populations to measure the success of conservation efforts. In the US, once dark forests are now sparkling again after years of restoration. Fireflies thrive in wetlands, forests and meadows that are untouched, rich in biodiversity, and low in pollution. So when you see fireflies, you're witnessing proof that an ecosystem is alive and well. They also play a vital role in balancing insect populations and supporting nocturnal food chains. And even their famous glow, bioluminescence, is a natural marvel. Scientists are studying for clean energy and medical breakthroughs. These tiny beacons aren't just beautiful, they're broadcasting a message: nature is healing, and the glow proves it. Their return is fueling citizen science, a glowing sign of a healing planet. Urban green spaces. Nature come back in the concrete jungle. Skyscrapers, concrete, and asphalt may define our cities, but hidden between the chaos, nature is quietly staging a powerful comeback. Urban green spaces, parks, rooftop gardens, green walls, and tree-lined streets are doing something unbelievable. They're cooling cities, reducing deadly heat, and reversing some of the most damaging effects of climate change. In a world where urban heat islands trap scorching temperatures, some cities are turning into ovens, but wherever green spaces exist, the temperature drops. Trees provide shade, plants absorb sunlight, and soil retains moisture, all working together to lower city temps by up to 9 degrees Fahrenheit. That's not just comfort, it's survival. In cities like Singapore, Tokyo, and Milan, researchers have found that green spaces significantly reduce heat stroke, improve air quality, and even boost mental health. In New York City, strategically planted trees are now saving lives during extreme heat waves. And in Paris, green rooftops are helping buildings stay cool without energy-draining AC. Even more stunning, these green zones filter pollutants, attract pollinators, reduce noise, and soak up rainwater, preventing floods and protecting infrastructure. Some urban planners call it rewilding the city, as if nature is reclaiming its space between the steel and concrete. What once looked like empty lots and abandoned rooftops are now urban jungles of survival, proof that nature doesn't need acres to make an impact, just a chance. Even the smallest park or patch of green can become a powerhouse of environmental change. Cities are now investing billions into green space expansion, realizing that nature might be our best defense against rising temperatures and collapsing ecosystems. Mushroom. Nature underground repair network. Beneath our feet, hidden from sight, an underground miracle is unfolding, and it's changing everything we thought we knew about how nature heals. Fungal networks, often called the Wood Wide Web, are quietly repairing damaged soil, restoring forests, and reviving ecosystems destroyed by pollution, deforestation, and overfarming. These microscopic threads, known as mycorrhizal fungi, connect plants, transfer nutrients, share water, and even warn one another of threats. In areas once stripped bare, these fungal highways are bringing soil back to life, naturally and without human machines. Scientists have found that in polluted or barren environments, introducing the right fungi can accelerate soil recovery, boost plant growth, and lock carbon deep underground. Some fungi can even break down heavy metals and toxic chemicals, turning lifeless dirt into fertile, living earth. Forests devastated by wildfires have shown signs of regrowth, thanks to fungal networks, rebuilding root systems, and regenerating the forest floor. In agriculture, regenerative farmers are now working with fungi, not against them, to restore soil health without chemicals. Fields once considered dead are now producing richer crops, holding more water, and resisting erosion. Even NASA is studying fungal networks to help grow food in space and terraform barren planets. This isn't just about mushrooms, it's about an intelligent, self-sustaining system that's been quietly saving Earth for millions of years. It's all happening underground, unnoticed, as nature works in silence to fix the damage we've done. These networks are nature's repair crews, creating balance from below, forming alliances with trees, grasses, and even crops, all to keep ecosystems alive.